Hey Pick 10 Flicks fam! Today we're counting down 10 intense apocalyptic sci-fi TV shows that pack the same raw emotion, survival instinct, and haunting world building as The Last of Us. From viral outbreaks to alien invasions and collapsing civilizations, these series will pull you into their gritty worlds and never let go. Let's jump right in. Number 10, American Horror Story, 2011 present. While each season of American Horror Story dives into a new twisted tale, it's the 8th season, titled Apocalypse, that earns its spot on this list. Set in a post-nuclear landscape, the season starts in a fortified underground shelter known as Outpost 3, housing an elite few who survived the nuclear fallout. But the true horror isn't just in the radiation above, it's in the darkness that grows within. Blending characters from earlier seasons like Coven and Murder House, Apocalypse brings witches, demons, and the Antichrist into a narrative about the end of times and the possible rebirth of humanity. It's bold, chaotic, eerie, and unpredictable. While it leans heavily into the supernatural, the show still manages to evoke the chilling emptiness of a world already lost and the desperate human desire to cling to what remains. Number 9, Silo, 2023. Silo is a hauntingly quiet, tension-soaked dystopia set in a deep underground structure housing what remains of the human race. The people inside the silo believe that the outside world is toxic and deadly, and anyone who even questions the official narrative is sent out, never to return. At the center of the mystery is Juliet, a determined engineer who starts pulling at the threads of a tightly woven web of lies after the suspicious death of someone close to her. The silo, with its countless levels and rigid rules, becomes a metaphor for truth buried under decades of secrecy. Each episode peels back a new layer, revealing how history can be manipulated, how knowledge is controlled, and how rebellion starts in silence. It's not loud or action-packed, but its eerie stillness and psychological grip make it a standout in the post-apocalyptic genre. Number 8, Battlestar Galactica, 2004 to 2009. When a robotic race known as the Cylons turns against their human creators and launches a devastating surprise attack, civilization, as we know it, is reduced to drifting spaceships and scattered survivors. Battlestar Galactica follows the last known fleet of humanity, led by Commander Adama aboard the titular warship, as they search for the fabled Earth. But this isn't just a journey through space. It's a story about what happens when society collapses, leadership is tested, and paranoia eats away at trust. The lines between ally and enemy are constantly blurred, and the show dives headfirst into questions about faith, identity, politics, and survival. The threat isn't just external, it's within. Battlestar Galactica doesn't offer easy answers. It dares to explore humanity at its most fragile and most resilient. Number 7, The 100, 2014 to 2020. After nuclear apocalypse makes Earth uninhabitable, the last remnants of humanity survive aboard a massive space station called the Arkansas. But resources are dwindling, and as a last resort, 100 juvenile prisoners are sent down to the planet to see if it's safe again. What starts as a teenage survival drama quickly evolves into a dark, violent epic about power, sacrifice, and the endless cycle of destruction. The group encounters other survivors, ancient technologies, and deadly moral dilemmas that force them to grow up fast. Over its 7 seasons, The 100 explores how leadership corrupts, how peace is temporary, and how the desire to protect can lead to horrific choices. It's brutal, thought-provoking, and never afraid to challenge its audience with impossible decisions. Number 6, Z Nation, 2014 to 2018. Z Nation brings a wild, chaotic energy to the zombie apocalypse genre. Set 3 years after a deadly virus has turned most of the population into the undead, the show follows a ragtag group tasked with transporting the only known survivor of a zombie bite across the country, Murphy. He holds a potential key to a vaccine, but he's also slowly mutating into something not entirely human. Unlike most grim zombie dramas, Z Nation mixes humor, bizarre scenarios, and high-stakes action with surprisingly emotional character arcs. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but still delivers plenty of gritty survival themes, moral gray areas, and gut-wrenching moments. Think of it as the punk rock cousin of The Walking Dead, fast-paced, unpredictable, and full of personality. Number 5. Alice in Borderland, 2020 to 2022. One moment you're in Tokyo, the next you're in a deserted parallel version of it, forced to compete in deadly games to survive. That's the premise of Alice in Borderland, a Japanese thriller that blends sci-fi, psychological horror, and social commentary into a heart-pounding ride. Arisu, a disillusioned young gamer, finds himself and his friends trapped in this strange reality, where every game is a life-or-death battle. As they navigate increasingly twisted challenges, they must face not just the games, but their own emotional baggage, traumas, and morality. Visually striking and intellectually intense, Alice in Borderland explores the limits of human endurance and the cost of survival in a broken system. Number 4 to 12 Monkeys, 2015 to 2018. Based on the iconic 1995 film, 12 Monkeys tells the story of a post-pandemic world where a deadly virus has ravaged humanity. James Cole, a scavenger from this dystopian future, is sent back in time to prevent the outbreak before it happens. But time travel is messy, and every decision ripples into unexpected consequences. What begins as a simple mission evolves into a sprawling narrative about fate, love, sacrifice, and the very fabric of time itself. With smart writing, emotional depth, and increasingly complex timelines, 12 Monkeys manages to be both a gripping sci-fi thriller and a deeply human story. It's about fixing the future by confronting the past, and what happens when saving the world means breaking everything you know. Number 3. Raised by Wolves, 2020 to 2022. On a desolate alien planet far from Earth, two androids, mother and father, are tasked with raising human children after a religious war destroys Earth. What follows is a philosophical, visually stunning, and emotionally unsettling tale about faith evolution and the clash between technology and belief. Raised by Wolves is filled with haunting landscapes, surreal imagery, and a sense of creeping existential dread. The androids themselves become deeply compelling characters as they struggle with parenting, purpose, and their own programmed limitations. It's a slow-burn series that asks big questions about what it means to be human when humanity itself has nearly wiped itself out. Number 2. Snowpiercer, 2020 to 2024. After climate change triggers a new ice age, the last remnants of humanity live aboard a massive, constantly moving train called Snowpiercer. The train is divided by class, with the elite living in luxury at the front and the poor crammed into the tail. Tensions boil over as a revolution brews, and the train becomes a battleground for justice, equality, and survival. Snowpiercer combines stunning visuals with political commentary, weaving themes of climate disaster, authoritarian control, and social inequality into its thrilling plot. Each car of the train reveals new secrets and dangers, keeping the stakes high and the drama intense. Number 1. Sweet Tooth, 2021. A mysterious virus wipes out most of the human population, and in its wake, children start being born as hybrids, part human, part animal. One such hybrid is Gus, a sweet, antlered boy who sets out on a journey to find his mother. Along the way, he meets allies and enemies, all while trying to survive in a world that fears what it doesn't understand. Sweet Tooth is a rare blend of whimsical storytelling and apocalyptic tension. Its emotional core, stunning visuals, and rich themes of innocence, prejudice, and resilience make it more than just another post-pandemic tale. It's a story about hope in the harshest of worlds, and that makes it unforgettable. Thanks for watching Pick 10 Flicks Fam. If you love diving into these apocalyptic sci-fi worlds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a countdown that brings the thrill, chills, and deep storytelling straight to your screen. Which of these shows are you adding to your watch list? Or did we miss one of your favorites? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're always up for a good survival story recommendation.